Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ferris Sports Update. I'm your host, Rob Bentley, and thanks for tuning in. Another athletic season is underway. Today we'll talk and recap Bulldog football, volleyball, and cross country. First up, Bulldog football, head coach Tony Annese. And Coach, welcome back to the show. Welcome back from North Dakota as well.
Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it.
You knew going in this past Saturday it was going to be a tough challenge on the road against North Dakota State, two-time defending champion in FCS football, and certainly proved to be a very worthwhile opponent.
Yeah, a great opponent. I could see them being a team that was probably beat any of the Mid-American Conference schools. And it was a huge challenge for us, and we knew it going in. They obviously had a game under their belt, and we had not. The venue was more than I expected, and I planned and expected, and people who know that venue well said, it's the most amazing venue and challenge to communicate. Then it was unbelievable, and so those are two big things to overcome. And the third was I thought that I probably miscalculated the fact that I didn't know if we could run the ball against them because Kansas State only had 40 yards, and so tried to spread around a little bit too much probably in the early part of the game. And if we would have went at them a little bit more, maybe we had a better chance to at least get some first downs and keep our defense off the field.
You mentioned Kansas State. They were coming off a big win over Kansas State. Certainly not at a lack of confidence coming in on North Dakota State's part.
No, and I mean, for people that witnessed what happened before that game, it was. I mean, I just met with my captains, my leadership council, and I said, all right, did you guys think we came out too early? And they said, Coach, that was one of the greatest experiences we've ever seen. So they raised their championship banner, and their whole hype going into taking the field was just amazing. And so for our guys, I wanted them to, understand really what it feels like to be a champion, and they could kind of feel the pride that the community, the people in the stadium had, and the field, the team taking the field, and so ultimately, that's the culture we want to build, and hopefully our guys see that and really want to, feel the same things that North Dakota State felt Saturday.
As we go to the highlights of the game, talk about the start of the game and what you learned from your team in the early part of the contest.
Well, we talked about, we won the toss, and we talked about taking the ball right away, but that's contrary to kind of what we do. And so we decided, okay, we'll defer if we win the toss. And so they took the ball down the field, and it was a pretty long drive. I think 3 or 4 third down conversions, 1 fourth down conversion on the touchdown score. So, and then we knew answering them was important, keeping our defense off the field, and we got a first down. But literally, our center couldn't hear our quarterback, our tackle couldn't hear our quarterback. Any kind of rhythms on motions and things like that were a little out of sync, and so they were screaming as loud as they could scream to try to distract us. So it kind of messed us up. We had a penalty, and then we dropped a pass, and so we went 3 and out. They scored again. We had to get another first down. We went 3 and out. So literally in the first 15 minutes of the game, I think we had 6 plays, and we needed to help our defense there. So time of possession, they had 11 minutes in the first quarter, and we had 4. And it evened up. We beat them in time of possession for the game, but the early part of the game really kind of put us up against it.
On a positive note, at the end of the first half, you put together a nice drive, got a touchdown pass that we'll see to Dwayne Boston right here, and came back to start the third quarter with a big drive to get a field goal.
Yeah, we scored in 2 straight possessions, and we rushed for 233 yards, which we took Jason out after we kicked the field goal, and so we wanted to play a lot of guys, and we wanted to be a learning experience for a lot of guys, and ultimately, the reality is we went there to win, but we also went there to grow as a team, and I wanted to allow some people to show themselves, and so we did that. So we achieved a lot, even though statistically speaking, those are for losers. We weren't going there for a moral victory, but by the same token, we also wanted to have a good learning experience to get ourselves ready for GLIAC play.
What were some of the bright spots you saw in terms of both the offensive and defensive sides?
Well, I thought we tackled great. They're a very polished offense. Their quarterback's got how many ever starts, 50 starts, and I know he's got almost 40 wins. So, they're a polished offense, and we tackled well. We were forced to play a little bit thinner in the secondary because, they're just that kind of physical team with the personnel groupings they use. So they took advantage of that. They did a good job at that. But also we were there to kind of, when they made the play, we were there to tackle. So I like that. Offensively, I like the fact that our O-line did a decent job of handling their D-line. Even though it looked like we were a little out of sorts early, when we got to the point where we were running downhill at them, we were able to do so. So I know they were frustrated. I know their coach said, he was a little upset that we were able to run the ball the way we did. But ultimately, there's a lot of positives. Special teams-wise, we were, the thing you worry about the most in that first game is make a big special teams mistake, and we didn't. Our kickoff coverage is good. Our punt coverage, they almost returned a punt for a touchdown against Kansas State, and they didn't get a return yard against us. So we did some goofy things on the punt, but we're able to really match them on special teams. So all in all, good. We made too many mistakes handling the ball and penalties, silly penalties that cost us.
This week you're back at home opener against Lake Erie at Top Taggart Field on Saturday night, and talk about the improvement. They say you make your most improvement from week 1 to week 2. What do you expect out of your team this week?
I think our kids feel like, our choice going into last week was to not play a game or go play at North Dakota State. I think our kids are happy we played a game, and I am too. Regardless what the score was, I'm not a scoreboard watcher, so sometimes we win games and I'm so discouraged because we play bad. And that game, that the deficit was large, but there were a lot of positive signs, and so I feel good about that. I think our mindset will be good approaching the first GLIAC game, and I'm hoping that people are still excited and come out and support us, because I think we're going to be a fun team to watch.
Lake Erie, an opponent that you beat last year in the conference opener on the road. What do you know about Lake Erie going into this matchup?
Well, same stuff from them. They've got a new quarterback who quarterbacked 5 or 6 of their games last year, and they got a great running back who's a true sophomore now, and he was really good as a true freshman last year. And so they like to run the ball. They scored a lot of points against Gannon, and we just got to we got to be more consistent with some of the things we do. But ultimately, it's a huge test, and I think we'll be excited and ready to go.
Finally, as you look back at this North Dakota State trip, what do you take away from that in terms of a bonding experience for your football team?
Well, we traveled the way you never really travel as a D2 school, so we're fortunate enough to they paid some of our expenses to fly out there, and that was all exciting stuff, and then to be there in that venue, I've been fortunate to see a lot of college games, and that's as good a venue as I've ever seen. And we know we just played the best team we could play this year. I mean, flat out. It doesn't matter what how if we play 11 games or 15 games or whatever. We played the best team we can play, and so the bar's up there now. We know what a great team looks like, and that beyond them being a great team, we learned what a great team acts like, because they were first class. The people treated us first class. The players were not chippy. They were first class, respectful, and so they weren't obnoxious guys who, hey, I'm the 2-time FCS national champion, I'm big time. They were focused and just played hard-nosed football. So hopefully we learn a lot from those experiences.
Well, Coach, best of luck against Lake Erie this Saturday night, and looking forward to the home opener.
Thanks, Rob. So am I.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.